Welcome to Quixer Volume 4, Missing in Aruba and Legally Declared Dead. The island of Aruba is a tropical paradise with sun-kissed beaches and crystal-clear waters that attract tourists from all over the world. But in May of 2005, the island became a site of mystery that would capture international attention and break the hearts of a grieving family. Natalee Holloway was a bright and ambitious teenager from Alabama with her whole life ahead of her. She and her classmates had traveled to Aruba for a senior trip, looking forward to a week of fun in the sun, but on the last night of her trip, Natalee vanished without a trace. The investigation into Natalee's disappearance would uncover a web of lies and deceit, with one man at the center, Joran Vander. The young Dutchman was one of 3 people seen with Natalee before she vanished, and he quickly became the prime suspect in the case. As the world watched and waited for answers, Joran's true character began to emerge. He was a charming and charismatic young man, but also a pathological liar and a manipulator. He seemed to revel in the attention and the power he held over others, taunting investigators and playing games with the media. For Natalee's family and friends, the pain of her loss would never go away, but for Joran, the case would mark the beginning of a long and troubled journey, one that would ultimately lead him down a path where he was convicted of another murder, jailed, and allowed conjugal visits that made him a father. Holy crap, strap in, here we go. Natalee Holloway was a Clinton, Mississippi-born girl who moved to Birmingham, Alabama with her mother after her parents divorced. Natalee was a smart and popular student at Mount Brook High School in Birmingham, where she had excelled in both academics and extracurricular activities. She was an accomplished dancer and a member of the National Honor Society with plans to attend the University of Alabama in the fall. As the end of her senior year approached, Natalee and her classmates were looking forward to their senior class trip in Aruba. Aruba is a common place for many to travel, along with Cancun, Mexico, because of the beaches, sun, and the ability to party like they wanted as a drinking age is 18. It was a chance to let loose and celebrate the end of the high school year, to soak up the sun and make memories that would last a lifetime. Natalee was excited about the trip, but also a bit nervous. She had never traveled outside the United States before, and she didn't know what to expect from a foreign country like Aruba, but she was determined to have a good time and make the most of the experience. She was among 100 people that was made up of students and chaperones. She and many of the newly minted adults were setting out on a journey that was movie-worthy, the epic adventure before college. The day the trip arrived and they boarded a plane bound for the sunny island paradise, they arrived in Aruba in high spirits, ready for a week of adventure and fun. For the first few days, everything went according to plan. Natalee and her friends spent the days lounging on the beach, swimming in crystal clear waters, and exploring the island's many attractions. They went shopping, tried new foods, and met new people. She and her friends would party at Carlos and Charlie's, a popular venue in Aruba known for its lively atmosphere and party vibe. Located in the Palm Beach area of the island, the club was a popular destination for tourists and locals alike, and it was especially busy during the high season. The last time she was seen alive was partying at Carlos and Charlie's. They went back to the same club because they knew it, expected the same good time. What many people do not realize is they get a false sense of security in the place that becomes familiar. Among the brightly colored decor, loud music, and fun-loving staff who would often perform dance routines and other entertaining acts. Can you say belly shots? Natalee danced and drank. The last night to let loose as an 18-year-old, the alcohol amplified the experience and lowered inhibitions. It was the last day. The trip was over and the partygoers boarded the bus bound for the airport. While some of the epic vacationers boarded the bus with laughter, others dropped their head with a hangover, and others with embarrassment. They noticed Natalee missed her time to board, and the girls laughed and joked. "Oh no, who did she hook up with?" one quipped. Others thought she missed her alarm because she was too drunk and was just hungover. Then joking became very somber as the chaperone's demeanor changed. No one knew where she was. They wanted to rally and assist looking for her. Some chaperones stayed behind, and the police were on scene as the bus pulled away from the hotel. The vacationers, they sent text messages of who they saw Natalee with and pictures that would maybe help find her. The brothers, Deepak and Satish, were arrested on suspicion of a crime in connection with Natalee Holloway's disappearance. The brothers provided several different accounts of the events that led up to her disappearance. At first, they denied having any knowledge of her whereabouts. Later, Deepak changed his story and claimed that he and his brother Satish dropped Natalee off at her hotel on the night she disappeared. However, he maintained that he did not see her again afterwards and that he did not know what happened to her. Deepak's statements were inconsistent and often contradicted those of other individuals involved in the case. Ultimately, the police released the brothers and turned their attention to Joran Vander Sloot. Some agents from the FBI and other international law enforcement agencies joined the investigation, and numerous leads were followed up on, but no conclusive evidence was found. Aruba police focused on Joran Vander Sloot, and the local news ran his face and images of Natalee consistently. The Dutch citizen, then 17, was arrested on June 10th, 11 days after her disappearance, and he was detained for 3 months but never charged. Natalee's mother, Beth Twitty, and Natalee's father, Dave Holloway, flew down to Aruba. They went on any and every news outlet that would let them, from TV to radio, in an effort to spread the news and maybe find her daughter. Getting arrested is one thing, but they wanted their daughter back. A few months went by, and then in September 2005, the Colpe brothers were arrested again, this time on suspicion of involvement in Natalee's disappearance. However, once again, they were released due to lack of evidence. Months later, the case took another twist in February 2006 when a man named Guido Weaver came forward with information he claimed could help solve the case. Weaver told authorities that he had overheard Joran and the Colpe brothers discussing the events of the night Natalee went missing. Weaver's account suggested that Natalee had died accidentally and her body had been disposed of offshore. Despite the new information, no physical evidence was found to corroborate Weaver's account, and the case remained unsolved. Joran Vander Sloot continued to deny any involvement in Natalee's disappearance. While Natalee Holloway's case went cold, Joran began his new life. Joran left Aruba and gambled internationally, and in August 2009, Vander Sloot was spotted in Macau at the Asia Pacific Poker Tour, where he won over $12,000 equivalent US dollars. He started a YouTube channel and made a statement that he is a professional poker player. He called out Grindstein's 2005 Poker Strategy Guide as his favorite book. In early 2010, he returned to Aruba after the death of his father. Joran realized it was a few weeks and the anniversary of Natalee Holloway's disappearance was about to become the top headline in the news again. There was another poker tournament, and Vander Sloot left Aruba to Colombia on the 14th of May, then traveled to Peru to attend the Latin American Poker Tour. Joran then met a 21-year-old Stephanie Tatiana Flores, and they hit it off. The two drank and played poker at the tables. Then she followed him back to his hotel room, number 309. 5 years to the day Natalee Holloway's presumed murder on May 30th, 2005, Stephanie Flores was killed by Joran Vander Sloot. Flores was a business student who was less than a year from graduation at the University of Lima. After Flores' family reported her missing, police retrieved the hotel tax surveillance tape and obtained Vander Sloot's name and national identification number. Her brother's wife discovered Vander Sloot's background in a Google search about an hour before her body was found by hotel employees on June 2nd. An autopsy was completed on Flores. It was determined that she did not have sexual intercourse before her death, and her toxicology report showed alcohol and amphetamines in her system. Neither was near a level to prevent her from resisting an attack. Joran caused her to die from blunt force trauma to her head, which caused a brain hemorrhage, cranial fracture, and a broken neck. She also suffered significant injuries to her face and showed signs of asphyxiation. According to court documents, this kill was rage. On an anniversary, we wonder, was he reenacting the events from 5 years earlier? Joran, the killer, is on the run. Disappearing is nearly impossible. We did a video on how to disappear, and Joran was foolishly trying to cross multiple countries with his mobile phone while texting people and using his identification across the international borders. Vander Sloot was sighted entering Chile. Vander Sloot was sighted entering a Chile border crossing north of Arica on May 31st, the same time he sent text messages to his girlfriend, Melody Grandio, asking for money to buy tickets back to Aruba. On June 3rd, Vander Sloot was arrested by the Chilean police while traveling in a taxi on Highway 68 near the capital of Santiago. The police inventoried the items that included a laptop, foreign currency, detailed charts of the ocean currents around Lima, and bloody clothes. Cheese and crackers, this guy is dumb. Perhaps the only smart thing this killer did was remove his SIM card at times that made him a little bit more difficult to track. Something that does not matter in modern times. You can remove the card, but the phone can still be tracked. It's crazy. He told Chilean police that unidentified armed robbers hid in the hotel room and killed Flores when she disobeyed their orders to be quiet. He was subsequently extradited and handed over to Peruvian authorities on June 4th. For the next 16 months, he was locked up and fighting his case. Meanwhile, the original crime he is thought to have committed was updated as Natalee was declared dead. Dave Holloway filed a petition with the Alabama courts to have his daughter declared legally dead. The papers were served on his ex-wife, Beth Twitty, who announced her intention to oppose the petition. But on January 12, 2012, Judge King signed the order declaring Natalee Holloway to be dead. One day before she was declared dead, Vander pled guilty to qualified murder and simple robbery of Flores. While Natalee is still missing, we know where he will be. On the 11th of January 2012, he was sentenced to 28 years in prison for the Flores murder. He is currently expected to be released on June 10th, 2038, and will be extradited to America as he has a federal warrant for his arrest here. While in prison, okay, this is just gross. Joran was allowed conjugal visits with a woman and she became pregnant. Then married Joran and later gave birth to a daughter. What the heck? All I can say now is that we have to wait until 2038 to see the next events of this guy's story. Maybe Natalee will be found by then. Joran's mother maybe stated it the best way during a Dutch TV interview, translated as, "I believe in karma. I believe that very strongly. I believe that if you do things that you should not do, that a lot of shit happens to you." She continued, "He didn't want to listen to his parents. He didn't listen to me this last time. I tried to do my best. I don't think I could have done more," said Anita Vander Sloot. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Discuss your theory in the comment section below.